So I wasn't supposed to say
Hello.
anything, but I think I will, because I'm up here and I have a mic. It's been awesome. I've known Patience for kind of a short time, and it's been pretty cool because the Patience that I met when I first met her is not the Patience that was here tonight.
Amen.
And she was a nice girl, and I shook her hand, and that, hello, my name's Brian. Oh, my name's Patience. But, you know, there was just, she wasn't where she should have been. And that's okay, because we all go through those times, right? A lot of, everyone has been at a place where they shouldn't have been at that point in time.
Amen.
But this girl has given all praise to Jesus Christ. And you're just going to hear her testimony, so I won't share anything like that. But it's just been so awesome to see the work that God has done in her life. And it's been a privilege to be able to witness this on a weekly and on a daily basis. And I've had the privilege of accompanying this girl and hearing her sing. That's awesome. And so it's just been great. And I know you love her, and I love her, and she's just a great girl. And so, but here's the thing. We're Christian people, and she's Christian, and she's a teenager as well. And so it's not just like, we're going to pray for Patience today and this weekend because she's going to give her testimony today, and all that's good. And I've been praying for her this weekend, but we got to pray long lasting.
Amen.
So you pray for her and the rest of the youth and each other daily, folks. Daily. You don't just pray this service, you pray daily for these people and for you, because I tell you what, sometimes we get tested and tried, and we have to have those people intercessing for us. I believe that to be true. And so I think I'm going to play, right? Is this what I play? Okay.
Hi guys, my name's Patience.
Yeah.
I went through a really hard time, and I wrote about it as I was coming along through Christ. And I'm going to share a little bit of what I wrote in the beginning and how I've come along, and then I'm going to sing a little song that means a lot to me, and then I'm going to tell my whole testimony. So here I go. I call it, her room is filled with a lifeless soul but changed. She sits in this room, filled with sadness, regret, lies, and hurt. The walls are painted nothing, but inside the walls were black. Her bed was a place that she could lose her feelings, punching her pillow, losing and using her covers as a tissue. Her pictures had smiles on the faces, but the smiles of that kid was a different smile from everybody else's. Her smile was about suicide and seeing her family happy when she was gone. Her art was all cute, but deep down it had a whole different meaning inside. She stayed in this room you called hope, but saw lost hope. They gave her a light to make things better, but she never used it. The mirror showed her family prettiness, but all she saw was self-pity and worthlessness. In this room is where she kept her dark secrets. She started to see things you couldn't see. She made scars in this room. There was blood stains in this room. She made a room into a demon that took her soul. Her room sucked her in, and she began to love this room because the demon she created loved her more than anyone. It sucked the life out of her. She never left because that was the only comfort there. She gave up on trying to talk to people. All she needed was that blade in that room. 10 months later, she's dead inside because starts to wonder why nobody misses her after. Sorry, guys. Because she starts to wonder why nobody misses her after she's been in this room for so long. She realizes everyone's just keeping her there to get her away. Soon her room wasn't a friend no more. It started hating her just like everyone else. She couldn't stand to look at her hopeless life anymore. She lied to herself over and over. It's gonna get better, so keep going. Fake that smile again. Day in and day out, she saw the same outcome as she saw before. Nothing is getting better. She starts the text to give hints away about what she was planning. The thoughts in her head took over her body. She starts to fade from what she just took to lose her body, to lose her mind, to lose everything. She's laying there hollow, knocked out, cold inside. Her last sight was pitch black, just like her room. She believed life was over at this time. Family thought she was a goner for good. Doctors in and out looked at the family with terror. She's not gonna make it. But wait, 2 days later, something told her that her life wasn't over. She woke up from that black fade. She didn't understand why. She was mad at first because the room lied to her. It told her it would all be over if she just took those pills. She said she was still alive. Most say it's a miracle. But she wasn't able to take it all in, that she was still here. She goes through therapy once again. She feels something later on that she'd never felt before. A spark that was brought into her life. She felt it more and more. Her life wasn't a waste. She began to change things. She painted that room with love and started to change the inside walls into a bright wall. She ended up finding out that she had a friend inside this room. She realized that she's never seen this friend before. It told her it wanted to fill her life with joy and rest. But she's scared at first because of what happened before. But sooner or later, she sees something different. She broke down walls around her bitter heart. She lets him guide her. She was so desperate for something different. She was so tired of the old feelings she had. Tired of trying to be strong by herself. She was tired of everything her old room gave her. So she starts to change it, and by the end of the day, she knew that she had a new room. That new friend kept his promise, and he started guiding her through the darkness she had. That new friend she had become the light through everything. She used that friend more than most. She found joy, peace, happiness, rest in this friend. This friend is the one that took her in faster than anyone in life. This friend was there when nobody else was. This friend kept the promise he gave her, loved her like his own, loved her like there was nobody else in the world, held her like she was spotless, held her tight through the nights. He showed her things that nobody on earth could. That friend is what changed her room into truth instead of lies. That friend is the one that sparked a new life in this lifeless girl. That friend saved her with a simple promise that was never broke. This friend helped her trust. This friend is who I call Jesus. Jesus saved my life with a wake-up call on my deathbed. beating, beating inside my chest. Oh, I'm coming alive with joy and destiny. Oh, 'cause you're restoring me piece by piece. Oh, there's nothing too darling that you can't make worthy. You wash me in mercy. I am clean. Oh, yeah. There's nothing too darling that you can't make worthy. You wash me in mercy. I am clean. Washed in the blood of your sacrifice. Your blood flowed red and made me white. My dirty rags are purified. I am clean. Washed in the blood of your sacrifice. Your blood flowed red and made me white. My dirty rags are purified. I'm clean, I'm clean, washed in the blood of your sacrifice. Your blood flowed red and made me white. My dirty rags are purified. I'm clean. I am So, yeah, but when I was growing up, I didn't have a whole family. My parents divorced when I was 3 years old. I moved in with my grandparents at 3 years old. It was very hard. My grandparents aren't the best people that you could get along with. But anyways, as I was growing up, I had a cold heart. I was always angry all the time. I was very, very mean. They put me on medication at 5 years old for bipolar and ADHD, and because I never focused in school, never took school seriously. Who does anyways? But anyways, as I was growing up, I always thought I was different from everybody else. Being on medication, they found out in kindergarten that I had a reading disability. Kids made fun of me. I always had labels growing up. And I ended up in 5th grade moving because I thought I was gay and I came out of the closet. Thought I was gay, I'm not, but I thought I was. I came out, got bullied a lot, got bullied, called fag all the time. Ended up moving schools, which was really hard because I don't make friends easy. And I became very antisocial as I moved because I didn't know anybody. And after that, I got into the wrong crowd. because you want somebody to just take you in. So I got into the wrong crowd. I started cutting because that's all I could cope with anymore. Family was messed up, and started cutting, and after I started cutting, I felt like I couldn't stop. And so when my grandparents found out that I was cutting, they sent me off to Cross Point, which is a mental institution to help kids like my age quit cutting. And I remember the night that I went into Cross Point the first time, and I had to strip everything. It was awful. In front of people I didn't even know, so that was really awkward. And scared out of my life. I was like, holy cow, I don't know these people. And I get out, this was in February, I get out, and that was in 8th grade. In freshman year, around Christmas time, I was done. I was done with all the crap that I was going through, done with everything. I took over 150 Benadryl. And I was knocked out. I was in a coma for 2.5 days. Doctors told my grandparents I was not gonna make it. They told them I wasn't gonna make it. I ended up waking up, not really knowing where I was. Sent me off to Cross Point again. Stayed there for about 2.5 weeks because they had to make sure I was, mentally stable. And at that time, I was still on medication, still trying to figure out who I was. And at that time, I went to a different church than I do now. And I had some loving people that cared for me a lot. And then I started believing in God. I started seeing a difference in me. And then at that point, my dad and my stepmom, soon to be stepmom actually, they're getting married in April. And they took me in, we started a custody battle, and we won that. So now I'm living with my dad and my stepmom, which is great because I love my parents. But I still struggled a little, and we finally decided as a family to start coming to church here. And as a family grew, I still had struggles. I mean, no matter what, you're still gonna have struggles. And I finally, realized that what I was chasing after wasn't what God had planned for me. I realized that through going into Cross Point so many times that the medicine wasn't working. I realized that. Probably shouldn't have done this, but for a month I didn't take my medication. I was doing awesome actually. People in and out told me that I was looking wonderful, that I was great. And I didn't tell my parents, didn't tell doctors that I was doing this. Don't ever do this, guys, because I realized that it's not good for you. But and I realized that even though I did it, I still had God telling me you're going to be okay. So at that time, I finally told my dad and Cindy that I had stopped taking medication and that I felt wonderful. And I realized why I was feeling so wonderful. And it was because I had God's hand right there on my heart. Right. He took my heart and he showed me a different way. And at that time, I realized that the labels that had been put on me weren't labels, they were just what people thought was wrong with me. And when I realized that the only thing that was wrong with me is I had a lack of love in my heart from past experiences. And when I finally found Christ, that lack of love was filled. And ever since then, I can't get off fire for God. People at this church are like, holy cow, there's somebody so different. And it's because Jesus lives inside of me. And I'm proud to claim that.